Welcome to the Sebcast. Today we explore the story of the early church and ask why people opened their mouths to share their faith despite the significant risks involved. If we are honest, the question remains relevant today. Why do we often remain silent even when we do not face such severe threats? Let's begin with an interesting conversation Jesus had. His disciples asked him to eat something and he replied, "I have food you know nothing about." This unusual approach changed the early church's faith-sharing dynamic significantly. Jesus wasn't just anything. He challenged people to think and gain new perspectives. Then he explains what his food is. It is doing God's will, and he uses the metaphor of a harvest. Open your eyes and look at the fields. They are ripe for harvest. What does he mean? It's about the sowing and reaping of faith. It's not just something you do when you feel like it. It's a way of living and being. Jesus says it is his food to share the gospel. It's not something you do once a month. It's something you do every day. Just as you don't eat once a year, you shouldn't share your faith just occasionally. It should be part of your everyday life every day. What's interesting is what Jesus then says about the joy of the process. He speaks about how the sower and the reaper rejoice together. If you've ever been a farmer, you know that sowing is hard work. It's not enjoyable. You work throughout the day and it seems like nothing has changed by the end of the day. But harvesting, that moment when you see the fruit of your labor, is rewarding. But Jesus reverses the idea. He says the joy is not just with the reaper, but with the sower too. That's the whole point. If you experience the joy of eternal life, it will be just as delightful for you to plant the seed as to gather the harvest. The process of faith sharing is not just something that brings joy, it comes from joy. Think of Psalm 51. Restore to me the joy of your salvation. That joy drives you and makes the whole process of sowing and reaping so natural. When we understand this, we realize that faith sharing is not a duty but a joy you want to share daily. And so, in this way, we build a number one network for your and others' lives, a network full of joy. Until tomorrow, take care.